In their familiar garden, Lily and her dad were ready for the harvest. The moment her feet hit the field, little Lily scurried ahead to scout, while Dad followed at a leisurely pace. Both were excited to find good things for today's meal. Their first stop was the cornfield. While Dad reached up to snap off the big firm ears of corn, Lily stood below on tiptoes, her eyes wide with anticipation. As soon as Dad handed one down, she opened her tiny hands to catch it, hugging it tight as if afraid to drop it. Even though the corn was big and heavy for her small frame, Lily trotted quickly to the wagon, carefully placing her prize inside. She beamed with joy, occasionally glancing at Dad as if to say, "Look how fast I am, Dad!" When the basket was full, the two strolled through the fresh air of the garden. Suddenly, Lily's round eyes were drawn to a bright red spot, peeking out from behind some leaves. That's a chili pepper. It burns your tongue, so you can't eat that, Dad warned. Lily looked up, nodding as if absorbing every word, her know-it-all expression looking absolutely adorable. Heading home, Lily acted like a true little helper. She puffed out her cheeks, gathered her strength, and pulled the heavy corn wagon. Even though the wagon was a bit oversized for her tiny body, Lily pulled it with confidence and responsibility. Walking beside her, Dad's eyes shone with undisguised pride at how good and hardworking his little girl was today. Back at the house, they started prepping immediately.
Cái này mình để vào đây ha. Đó, thấy chưa? Chưa ăn ở đâu. Này mình đậy ra Ly nhá. Nè, thấy không?
Sitting in the kitchen, Lily mimicked her dad, using her small fingers to skillfully pry the kernels off the cob.
Đúng rồi Ly. Đúng rồi đấy. Bỏ xuống. Bỏ xuống đi, nè, cầm này. Nè, đúng rồi. Được không?
Dad then revealed a secret. You know, Lily, to make crispy popcorn, fresh corn won't work yet. We have to dry it in the sun so it will pop when it gets hot.
Phơi cho nó khô để mình làm cho mới nổ được không? Nhé. Ồ, ngon nè. Rồi đi nè, đi, tay cầm nè. Đó, đi nè. Đi nè.
Understanding the plan, Lily enthusiastically helped Dad carry the basket of golden corn to the yard, spreading it out under the bright sun.
Nè, ở đây phơi nhé, phơi cho nó khô nhé. Đúng rồi, tay nha. Ha.
They patiently waited for the sun to dry every single kernel. When the sun set and the corn was bone dry, Lily helped collect it and bring it to the kitchen.
Đây rồi. Đây rồi đây. Rồi giờ mình làm nha. Vào đây con. Đúng rồi, vào đây con. Đúng rồi, đấy này. Đó. Rồi đi nè. Đi nào đi. Đây, để vào tí nha. Cả tí nha Lý nha. Rồi, đây.
Now it was time for magic.
Vào đây Lý.
Dad put a large pot on the stove, turned on the heat, and dropped in a pat of yellow butter. The heat melted the butter, filling the kitchen with a delicious aroma that made Lily wiggle with excitement.
Giờ mình lấy bát nhé. Đứng lên ăn, đứng lên. Không được ăn nhé. Tí nữa nha. Tí nữa bạn làm cho Ly ăn ha.
Guided by Dad, Lily carefully dropped handfuls of dry corn into the sizzling butter.
Vào chưa? Đấy. Nắm một nắm luôn, nắm một nắm to thì là to luôn. Đó. Dùng, đúng rồi. Này. Đấy, gọi đi. Đúng rồi, giỏi quá. Lấy đi con. Lấy đi. Gọi đi. Đúng rồi đấy. Rồi, vậy thôi ha. Rồi. Giờ mình đảo nha. Rồi.
Dad covered the pot and began shaking it so the corn wouldn't burn.
A few moments later.
Moments later, sounds began to come from inside the pot. Pop! 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 Lily's eyes went wide as she watched the pot vibrating with every pop. When the popping slowed and stopped, Dad opened the lid. Wow! A pot full of fluffy white, golden buttered popcorn.
Chờ đi con, nóng. Nè. Đi ra này.
They poured their masterpiece into a huge bowl. Ending a hard but fun day, Lily and Dad took the hot popcorn to the living room. They sat together on the sofa, turned on their favorite TV show, and crunched on the crispy, fragrant corn. It was truly the sweetest reward for the hard-working little Lily. The story begins one morning when Lily woke up before Dad. As usual, she bustled around trying to wake him up to start the day.
Lily. Sao? Gì đấy?
However,
Okay.
the fun was interrupted when Lily kept rubbing her eye,
Sao đây?
looking uncomfortable and restless. Dad immediately noticed something was wrong with his little girl.
Không. Đâu xem này. Xem này.
He gently held her to check her red eye.
Sao đây? Bị đỏ mắt này. Bị đỏ mắt đấy. Con gì bay mắt đúng không?
It turned out a speck of dust or a tiny bug had flown in, causing her pain.
Nghe. Một thuốc nhỏ nhé, đỏ mắt nhé. Ra mình mua thuốc nhỏ mắt để lấy kiếm gì cho đi ăn nhé, được không? Và ba kiểm tra mắt đi nhé, xem thử không sao ha. Được chưa? Sao mà đấy nào?
With patience and care, Dad used a clean cloth to gently remove the object.
Con gì mắt đi hả? Con gì hả? Con gì đây?
Constantly reassuring her that her eye would be better soon.
Nè, thấy chưa? Nè, nè. Con đi cho vào mắt đi nè. Thấy không? Rồi lấy ra rồi nhé. Rồi, đi vào nào, đi. Đi vào nhà nhé. Thấy chưa? Ok đấy. Bị cái gì vào mắt
To
thôi nhé.
comfort and soothe Lily after the incident, Dad decided to give her a special privilege.
Cái này nhỏ 2 lần là hết hả? 3 là hết này nhé. Chưa? Sao đây chưa? Ở vùng này thích ăn gì nhỉ? Đấy, thích ăn gì? Ăn gì con cho tiền đi mua. Ở ra cái túi đi. Kia này túi kìa. Mang vào đây. Ở đây. Ui giời thôi. Đây, qua xem này. Con cho tiền vào đây mua gì ăn nhé. Được chưa? Thích ăn gì đi mua nè. Đây, có tiền đây.
He took out his wallet, gave Lily some money, and told her to go buy something delicious that she loved.
Đừng làm mất nhé.
Receiving the money, Lily's mood flipped instantly. She excitedly took the bill, carefully tucked it deep into her pocket so it wouldn't fall. And with an adorable trot, she disappeared to go on her important shopping trip. A while later, Lily returned. Contrary to Dad's guess that she would buy fruit or snacks, Lily brought back a packet of instant noodles. Not waiting for help, Lily was determined to cook it herself. She struggled with the package, peeling the wrapper. Putting the noodle block in the pot. Adding water. and even turning on the stove herself. After finishing her prep work, she leisurely lay on the beanbag chair to wait.
Uh-oh.
When her intuition told her the food was ready, she jumped up, ran to the bedroom, and dragged Dad to the kitchen to show off her work.
Sao về lại đi? Về ra. Xe này giỏi quá ha. Ra mua gì ăn đâu, bà xe nè. Mua gì ăn này? Cái gì đây? Đi mua gì ăn? Đâu tiền xem nào. À, hết tiền rồi này. Đây bà xe nè. Xem mua gì ăn nè. Thấy mùi thơm nha. Con nấu mì thì sao đi? Mua mì đúng không? Ui giời ơi, nấu mì à? Trời ơi, xem nào.
Standing in front of Lily's pot, Dad gasped in surprise. Oh my, you cooked noodles?
Đây, đứng đây nóng đấy.
Because she had lounged on the chair a bit too long, and her cooking skills were still new, the noodles were swollen and mushy from being overcooked.
Lì thì ăn mì hả? Sao mua cho cây ăn nhé, đừng mua mì nữa nhé. Mì ăn tốt đâu nhé. Mì ăn tí thôi, không ăn nhiều được ha.
Although he remarked that the noodles were mushy, seeing Lily's hopeful eyes, Dad accepted it happily. They sat down at the table. Dad gently helped her scoop the noodles, adjusting the bowl to make it easier for her.
Được không? Đưa túi cho bạn nè, đưa túi cho bạn nè. Bỏ xuống. Từ từ lên, đây, đưa túi này. Đúng rồi. Có được không? Sau nhớ đi mua táo ăn nhé, thấy chưa? Đừng mua mì nữa nhé, mua mì ăn không được đâu ha. Ăn nhiều mì không tốt đâu nhé.
Even though he gently reminded her, eating too much instant noodles isn't good, seeing Lily eat with such gusto, enjoying the meal she chose and cooked herself.
Đây. Đây, được bạn thấy chưa? Mì này mình xúc ngang mới được ha. Xúc ngang vậy này.
The atmosphere was filled with joy. The story closes with a full and happy Lily, the morning eye pain completely forgotten, replaced by the taste of soggy noodles filled with father-daughter love.
Thích mì quá hả? Đây này. Đi tự làm đấy ha. Đấy, tự làm tự ăn luôn. Ai đi?
Dad.
Đang làm gì đấy?
One afternoon, Dad came home from work and found Lily sitting on the sofa, glued to the TV screen.
Xuống đây con.
Seeing his daughter sitting nicely, Dad asked kindly, "Are you hungry, Lily? Stay there. I'll go boil some corn for you."
Con ngồi đi chơi nhé. Con ngồi đây ha.
Lily nodded happily at the mention of her favorite snack.
Thấy chưa? Con ngồi đây đi. Ngồi đây ha. Ngồi đây bà làm cho Lily ăn nhé. Thấy chưa?
However, when Dad stepped into the inner room, a horrifying scene appeared before his eyes.
Trời ơi, quần áo
Clothes
gì
were
để tùm lum
thrown
vậy?
everywhere, one on the bed, one on the floor. A total battlefield.
Ly ơi, bà bảo này. Đi vào đây.
Dad called Lily in.
Dad.
Vào hả? Tới đây đi bà bảo. Đây Ly này. Đấy,
Instead
bà
of
chỉ Ly nha.
scolding her,
Quần
he
áo này
pointed
phòng
at
mình
the
này, không
mess
được để
and
bừa bộn như vậy
gently
nha.
reminded
Nhìn cho
her,
đi. Nè, con thấy quần áo bừa bộn không?
Lily,
Đấy,
look
kìa,
at
kìa, thấy
this.
chưa? Thấy chưa?
You can't leave the room
Nè, bà chỉ
messy
Ly thôi
like
nhá.
this.
Bây giờ
We have to
nhiệm
keep
vụ
our
của Ly
room
ấy là dọn
clean.
dẹp cái này lại nhá,
Your
được không?
mission now
Nhá.
is to gather
Được không?
all this up
Này.
and take it to be
Phòng ở đây
washed.
sạch sẽ Ly nhá. Không được để rơi như vậy nghe chưa?
Understanding Dad and knowing she was wrong,
Kia kìa, kia nó kìa, quần áo kia kìa. Đây này, kia kìa, thấy không? Ly thấy không? Bừa bộn không? Rồi bây giờ Ly dọn dẹp thấy chưa? Lát nữa ra là dọn xong ấy. Bỏ ra máy giặt. Đấy, bắt tay nè. Thôi dọn đi con, dọn đi.
Lily immediately sprang into action to fix her mistake. She quickly went around the room, picking up every stray shirt and pair of pants, gathering them neatly into the laundry basket. When the basket was full, Lily struggled to lift the heavy load with both hands, waddling from the bedroom to the washing machine area.
One,
She carefully stuffed all the clothes into the drum,
two,
not leaving a single one behind.
3, 4, 5. Yay!
After slamming the door shut, Lily quickly tapped the control panel and pressed the start button just like a grown-up.
Yay!
As the machine started spinning, Lily jumped for joy. But being very careful, she went back to the bedroom to double-check that everything was spotless. Only when she saw the room was tidy did she run out to Dad to report her success and wait for the hot corn, a reward for her hard work.
Hi.
Ủa, xong rồi con? Giỏi quá. Chờ một tí nha.
Later that morning, sunshine filled the room. But when Lily looked around, she found the house strangely empty. Guessing that Dad was working in the garden, she put on her hat and ran outside. From afar, she saw Dad working in the middle of the field. Under the harsh sun, seeing Dad toiling away and sweating made Lily's heart sink. She realized how hard he worked early in the morning to take care of the family. A thought flashed through the little monkey's mind. I have to do something to energize Dad! No sooner thought than done, Lily ran back home as fast as she could. As soon as she entered the kitchen, Lily spotted a plate of fresh carrots on the table. A bold idea struck her. She would bake a carrot sandwich herself. Even though she had never made this type of bread before, the image of Dad working hard gave her motivation. Lily started immediately. With her small hands, opening the packages of ingredients, sugar and yeast proved harder than she thought. Sometimes the flour packet slipped from her hands, but Lily didn't give up. She fumbled, but remained determined. When it came to mixing the dough, Lily suddenly remembered Dad's advice. Kneading is the most important step, my child. The dough needs to be stretchy for the bread to be delicious. Remembering his words, Lily put all her strength into her small hands. She pressed, rubbed, and kneaded thoroughly. Her face was beaded with sweat and covered in white flour, but her eyes shone with hope that the bread would be just as good as Dad's. After shaping the dough, Lily carefully put it in the oven and set the timer. She sat hugging her knees in front of the oven, nervously counting every minute passing by. While waiting, Lily rested her chin on her hand and thought, just bread and carrots seems a bit plain, doesn't it? She wanted the gift to be perfect. So, while the bread wasn't done yet, Lily sprinted to the grocery store nearby. When Lily returned, the oven went ding! Opening the door, a delicious aroma filled the kitchen. The bread was golden brown and piping hot. Lily happily pulled out her secret weapon she just bought, tasty sausages. She skillfully sliced the bread, added the sausages, and didn't forget to stuff it with plenty of carrots, the favorite dish of both father and daughter. And just like that, the Lily Special Carrot Sausage Bread was complete. Lily used both hands to carry the giant sandwich into a basket. Then struggled to carry it out to the field to find Dad. Dad was wiping his sweat when he saw his daughter running over with bread in her hands.
Cái gì cho ba đấy hả?
He was wide-eyed with
Ui
surprise.
trời,
Wow!
ui
Where
trời,
did you
vất vả
buy
đây.
this, Lily?
Đâu ba xem nào?
Lily shook her head vigorously and patted
thơm
her
hết
chest
nhỉ?
proudly to
Mua đâu
signal
đấy?
that she had
Ừ,
made
mua
it
đi, mua nhỉ?
herself.
Hả? Biết đâu mà mua hay vậy?
When he understood
này?
that his daughter
Cái
had
này,
spent the whole
Ừ?
morning making
Cái
lunch
này?
for him,
Cái
Dad
này phải
was
bóc ra
deeply
nha. Bóc
moved.
ra rồi cắt ra bỏ đi con ạ. Chứ vậy sao mà ăn được nha. Cái này vậy là không ăn được nha.
He gently
Đó,
took the
cà rốt
bread,
này.
helped
Cà
Lily
rốt con ăn
peel
đi.
the sausage wrapper,
Đúng
and
rồi.
tore the bread into smaller
Ừ, cà
pieces
rốt thì
so
nhiều
they
cà
could
rốt
both
quá vậy.
eat easily.
Con ăn đi.
Biting into a piece of crispy bread that smelled of butter and tasted sweet like carrots, Dad nodded in
Được không? Ăn được
praise.
không? Ôi,
It's
ngon quá ha.
delicious, my daughter.
Ừ. Thêm này. Anh nhanh đi vào ha, không nắng quá nhé. Thử mấy cái này. Khô rồi chưa?
Dad didn't eat
Khô
alone.
rồi.
He broke
Không,
off a
quên nước cái
large
này nha.
piece and gave it to Lily.
Hơi cứng ha. Nhưng mà ngon nhỉ. Cho nhiều cái này quá không khó ăn lắm nhé.
Amidst the cool breeze of the field, father and daughter
ngon á.
sat together, sharing a simple meal filled with love.
Dù sao cũng cảm ơn Ly nhé. Cảm ơn đi chưa? Bay làm có cái ăn là hơi sướng à.
For Dad, that meal was
Thử miếng thử
probably
nha.
the most delicious
Ăn
one
thêm
in
nữa
the
không?
world.
Bánh mì ngon đấy. Nhưng mà hơi khô tí nhá. Bánh mì phải thêm nước nha Ly. Được chưa? Ngon quá. Cái này đi về nhá. Hết chưa? Cái này vào. Cầm này nhé. Đây thì cầm này, cầm đây. Đây đây đây. Đi về đi. Cái này đấy con, cái này để đây về mình ăn nhé.
After eating, Lily followed Dad to finish watering the remaining vegetable rows. In the morning sunlight bathing the garden, Lily, the clever little monkey, trotted after Dad's footsteps. Today wasn't just a simple watering session. The two of them had an important mission, harvesting the gourds that were ripe on the high trellis. Even though Lily was very agile, Dad stood below without taking his eyes off her, occasionally signaling and reminding his little daughter to be careful with every
đó vậy?
step to avoid
Hả?
slipping.
Lúc nào? Ui, ra đây ngồi nghỉ tí ha. Đây. À, làm gì đó? Ô, đi hai bí hả? Ô, xuống đây con, xuống đây, xuống đây. Xuống đây. Xuống đi. Nào, qua đây nào, qua đây nào. Qua đây. Qua đây, đúng rồi. Ui trời ơi, ui trời ơi. Ui ôi. Đúng rồi. Qua bên đây coi. Giỏi lắm. Đi hai bí về lò gan nhá. Đi ơi, xuống đây nào, xuống đây bảo này. Nhanh lên. Xuống đây bảo. Xuống đây, xuống đây. Đây, vào đây. Vào đây. Bây giờ mình hãy bí luộc ăn nhé. Được không? Má chưa?
When they arrived under the green trellis, Dad stopped and pointed up at the big round bottle gourds hiding behind the leaves.
Wow, đi giỏi quá nha. Thôi được rồi, để bà đi ha. Nào, qua đây. Qua đây. Ui. Có đường trèo nhé.
Understanding Dad's signal, Lily immediately put her climbing skills to use.
Đây đi này. Bỏ cái kia đi, bỏ rồi đi. Này con. Đây Lý ơi, đây.
She nimbly held onto the bamboo poles, moving lightly to the highest spot on the trellis.
Cẩn thận ngã nhé, được chưa?
Soon, the green gourds were lying obediently in the basket.
Nhé. Đi. Chào tôi đi, chào ba ơi. Có ghế ngồi không?
But the most interesting part of this morning
Đi,
wasn't taking the
đi bà
gourds
nhé.
to the market
Nào,
to
đến mũi
sell.
con. Đúng rồi, đi nha.
When the basket was full, Dad lifted it onto the cart and signaled Lily to go with him for a special business deal.
Tới đây con, ở đây. Tao đợi ba xe nào. Ra và giúp cho. Đây. Giỏi lắm. Đi nào. Đây. Trở lên con. Đây nha.
Mới quen rồi mà. Ê, khỏe không?
Có ít quà đổi này, đổi đồ này.
Ở ngoài đổi à, chú cha.
Cái
Đây đây cho bà chủ à. Đi à.
bà chủ đổi cái cây nhá.
Không. Đổ nghe, đổ nghe. Đổ cái này nghe.
Cầm ly, cầm đấy.
Đi cầm đi. Để cho quả to hơn nè. Đi. Đây,
cái lái hả? Mày
Ở đây cho cái nè, nhanh. Nè.
nhanh lại cho tiền. Chứ lọc lo chưa ăn được.
Nè, chưa cho.
Nó cho không cho kinh đi tự. Thì cho có xí ra lụm liền cái làm định kinh luôn á. U mẹ ơi trời.
Đây đi. Này. Đưa cho bà đi.
Đây này, bà giỏi. Là con nước thì con nước gì, con nước gì.
Đây, Ly.
Ú chu cha, ú chu cha.
2 cái thôi ha.
2 cái thôi à.
Đây Ly này. Ly.
Father and daughter took the fresh produce they just harvested to the neighbor's garden owner. The goal of the trip was to trade this basket of gourds for a more attractive gift, a huge, fragrant fruit that Lily absolutely loved.
Đây bà giúp cho ha. Đây vào đây ha.
Đây.
Đây, đây nè. Nào.
The exchange took place happily and was a brilliant success.
Bye đi, chào đi. Ly chào.
Thôi.
Đi nè Ly à. Đi.
The war trophy they brought back was a big, round, juicy watermelon.
Đây coi. Đây coi. Ở đây. Ở đây.
Father and daughter loaded their prize onto the car and headed back home.
Ở đây này. Sao?
Her little mouth pouted, her face showing a clear, sulky look. It's because you woke up late. I'm starving.
Hôm qua mình làm hơi mệt nên dậy muộn.
Dad laughed, carrying his little monkey to the counter and placing a big watermelon on the cutting board. Immediately, Lily's sulkiness vanished, replaced by bright, excited eyes.
Cắt ra nha. Con bỏ cái thứ ba đi. Rồi đó. Ngon quá ha. Nè, trời ơi. Tuyệt vời lắm Ly. Chờ ba tiếp, ăn làm cho. Ba tiếp nha.
Dad started to peel the rind. The tough green skin came off in long strips. Lily immediately showed she was a capable helper. Wherever Dad peeled, she quickly picked up the pieces of rind and carefully put them in a nearby basket. While working, her curiosity sparked. She secretly lifted a piece of watermelon rind to her mouth and took a bite. The bitter, hard taste made her scrunch up her face and quickly spit it out, making her dad chuckle.
Bạn làm cho Ly một ly nước ép nhá, một ít đi để ăn nha, được không? Rồi, từ đã. Phải quá ha. Dạ đúng rồi đây, ngồi đây.
Next was cutting the watermelon. Dad carefully cut the red fruit into neat cubes. Lily was just as quick, picking up the juicy red pieces and putting them into a large bowl.
Bỏ vô đi con. Đây luôn. Bỏ vô đi con. Đây luôn. Bỏ vô đi. Đây nữa. Thẳng đi nha. Bỏ vô đi. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Thêm ít nữa nha. Có vẻ hơi ít đấy.
The work was going smoothly until Dad turned away for 1 second to get something. Lily immediately seized the opportunity, quickly grabbing a piece of watermelon, popping it into her mouth, and chewing happily, her face full of satisfaction.
Rồi, bà để cái này ra đây nhé. Bây giờ mình xay nhé.
And now for the most exciting part, making juice.
đi bỏ cái này vào đây đi. Bỏ này này. Đây.
Lily seriously helped her dad put the cut watermelon into the blender.
Đó, đây này.
Her little hands carefully dropped in each piece, her eyes never leaving the machine.
Đây, nó bỏ ra đi. Bỏ đây con, bỏ đây. Đừng nữa đi, bỏ đây đi. Đây đi. Đây này, đây này. Đúng rồi, bỏ đây này. Bỏ vô.
When everything was ready, Dad placed his hand over Lily's little hand, and together they pressed the start button. The machine roared to life. Whir! In just a moment, Dad turned off the machine and poured out a glass of bright red, fragrant watermelon juice. The sweet smell hit Lily's nose, making her gulp.
Rồi.
She really wanted to drink it right away, but she was surprisingly patient.
Để làm cho Ly một
She
đĩa nữa
knew
nha.
Dad wasn't finished.
Ly thêm một đĩa.
Lily stood still, watching her dad continue to cut the rest of the watermelon into small pieces, arranging them carefully on a plate.
Này, nó bỏ đây đi. Đúng rồi, đây nữa này. Đây nữa. Đúng rồi đấy. Đây nữa. Đây nữa bạn. Đây nữa đi. Đây nữa. Đây nữa đi. Đây nữa đi. Đó. Đây. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Làm nhanh nhé.
When everything was ready, they carried their creation to the living room. Lily got to enjoy the cold, sweet juice first. The delicious taste made her close her eyes in happiness.
Rồi, vào đây, ăn. Vào đây, ăn đi. Rồi, mình ăn đi. Rồi, sai kìa.
After that, she started to take care of the plate of fresh red watermelon next to her.
Đúng rồi đấy, giỏi. Đúng rồi, chặn lại thôi nào. Đúng rồi. Đi đây. Lên cho bác. Ui giời, làm hết hồn.
After eating her fill, Lily didn't run off to play.
Đúng rồi, đây.
She ran to get a roll of paper towels and gave it to her dad to wipe the table.
Cảm ơn nhé. Qua đây ngồi, qua đây. Vào nhà cái Ly nhé, đi lấy cho bà ấy khăn đi.
Then, Lily ran to get a cleaning cloth and started her important job, cleaning the house, helping her dad keep their home clean while he went to the kitchen to wash the dishes and glasses.
Nhà Ly đi rửa cái đồ khay của con ăn đấy. Lau cho ba cái này nhé. Được không? Ha. Nè, đi đi. Lau đi.
The little girl used all her strength, pushing the cloth down on the floor with her tiny hands.
Đúng rồi. Đây này. Đây này. Đúng rồi. Kia đi con. Vào đây con. Cảm ơn nhé. Chúc bạn nhé.
Because she was pushing so hard, her little bottom stuck up in the air with effort as she moved back and forth, trying to wipe up every drop of water on the floor. Her serious, busy efforts helped her dad keep their house clean and tidy.
Đi giỏi quá đi ơi. Cái ba đi nhé.
Just as she finished wiping the last spot, Lily suddenly heard her dad call from the kitchen. Can my little princess help me run to the grocery store at the end of the alley and buy a bag of salt? Without needing her dad to say another word, the little girl quickly ran to get her small crossover bag, something she always took when she went out. Like a pro, Lily put the strap over her shoulder and adjusted it. Once ready, she ran back to her dad and stood seriously. Dad laughed at her serious expression, put some change in Lily's bag, and reminded her, "Be careful when you go out. Remember to watch the road." Before Dad could even add, Remember to wear your hat. Lily already understood. She knew the rule for going out when it was sunny was to wear a hat. She ran to get her favorite straw hat herself and put it on her head, carefully pulling the brim down to shade her forehead.
Rồi, xin rồi, đẹp rồi.
She waved goodbye to her dad and quickly ran off. Lily crossed the familiar paths in her neighborhood. She wasn't lost at all, confidently turning into a small alley as a shortcut. In just a moment, she was standing in front of the grocery store.
Tôi có thể giúp gì được cho bạn Lily?
Walking into the store, she went straight to the spice aisle, stood on her tiptoes, and quickly chose the exact brand of salt her dad always used. Lily carefully opened her bag, took the money out to pay the shopkeeper, and then quickly brought the salt home. When she got home, she called out, "Dad, the salt is here."
Ly ơi, vào đây nè. Rồi, Ly nhé, đi đây rồi.
My girl is so smart, thank you.
Phải chị trứng đấy.
Dad patted Lily's head and took the bag of salt.
Hai trứng không? Ly lấy cho em kéo này. Đây, đây. Đây, đây. Để hũ nha. Đổ muối vào đây ha.
While Dad poured the salt into the jar to prepare for lunch, Lily's curiosity sparked again. She dipped her fingertip in, put it in her mouth, and her little face immediately wrinkled up from the salty taste. Dad saw her and chuckled. Salt is very salty. You can't eat it raw.
Cho ít vào đây. Rồi đây nhé. Cho ít thôi nha. Ha. Mặn ha.
She didn't run off to play.
Tránh ra.
She pulled over a small stool and sat next to her dad, watching him fry the eggs.
Trứng nha. Đi ăn trứng không? Ăn trứng không? Trứng chiên nhé. Ăn thử nha. Đây là trứng chiên nhé. Được không?
She watched intently as her dad cracked the eggs into a bowl, whisked them, and poured them into the sizzling pan. Lily loved watching the yellow, fragrant egg take shape.
Thấy không? Thấy chưa? Thấy chưa? Đó. Đẹp không? Đẹp không? Cái này tránh xa nó ra nhé, không nóng nữa. Đấy là xong rồi ăn nhé. Thấy chưa?
Finally, when the eggs were cooked, Dad finished making lunch. Dad served the simple meal with a plate of fragrant fried eggs with onions and a bowl of vegetable soup in the living room. Lily had already run over and sat next to her dad, waiting eagerly. Dad smiled, served the rice, and put food on Lily's plate. He gave her the biggest piece of egg. Just like that, Lily and her dad's simple but loving lunch began.
Ăn trứng này đi, trứng này. Ăn mỗi cơm không phải? Rau này. Rau này đi. Thấy rau không? Này. Ừ? Chị ăn mỗi cơm thôi nhỉ? Chị ăn đồ ăn à? Ừ? Giày đâu đây? Cẩn thận nào. Ừ.
Lily's cheerful chatter mixed with her dad's gentle care, creating a warm and happy afternoon.
Sao thế? Trứng ngon mà. Trứng ngon mà. Ngon nhỉ? Được không? Ăn rau được đấy. Tỏi. Đây này. Đây này đi.
The warm lunch ended, and Lily's full stomach and her dad's care made her very happy. She happily climbed into her familiar chair to watch the computer on the desk, completely lost in the colorful cartoon world.
Linh vào bài nhé, tay làm nhé.
Suddenly, Dad has to go out for a little while, Lily. Be good at home, okay?
Dad.
She quickly scrambled off the chair and padded out to the living room. Dad, wait for me! Lily ran after him to the front door, but all she could do was stop short. The vehicle had already zoomed off. Dad had disappeared around the corner. A huge wave of disappointment hit her. Lily stood behind the clear glass door, her two small hands pressed flat against the cool glass. She called for her dad hopelessly. Dad! Dad! Her calls were blocked by the silent glass, weak and lost in the midday quiet. She sadly turned around and ran back into the house. Her gaze passed over the laptop, which was still on, but all her interest was gone. Wanting to wait for her dad, Lily, with her smarts and determination, used all her strength and began to drag a chair close to the front door. This was a strategic position where she could see her dad the very second he appeared. But Lily waited for a very long time. She changed her lying position many times, sometimes lying on her back, hands on her forehead as if thinking, sometimes flipping over onto her stomach, resting her chin on her hands and staring at the door until her chin was sore, sometimes curling up like a little cat comforting itself. Dad still didn't come home. Lily couldn't patiently sit still any longer. She slid off the chair. With a visible sigh, Lily ran back inside the house, perhaps to find a toy or something to fill the empty time. After playing for a bit, Lily felt hungry again. She scampered to the yellow fridge, opened it, and pulled out a bright red dragon fruit. With a fork as her weapon, Lily sat at the table and tried to open it. However, the thick, slippery skin gave her trouble. After struggling for a moment, Lily decided to use brute force. She threw the dragon fruit hard onto the floor, smashing it open and splattering pink juice everywhere. Unfazed by the mess she'd made, Lily happily used her fork to scoop out and eat the sweet fruit. When she finished eating, perhaps feeling a little guilty about the mess, Lily started to clean up. She picked up the broken pieces of the dragon fruit peel, gathered them together, and put them in a small basket. After finishing her job, Lily ran to her soft cushion, lay down, and rolled back and forth, her face adorably smeared with pink dragon fruit stains. Sleepiness quickly set in after such a long day. Lily lay quietly on her cushion, her eyes getting heavy before slowly closing. She fell into a deep sleep, ending a long day filled with mischievous games and sweet moments with her beloved dad. Dad led Lily to a small wooden table and kindly set out some pre-cut grapes on a plate for her. Lily sat nicely on her chair, holding a small fork, and carefully speared each piece of grape, enjoying her snack. Meanwhile, maybe from being out in the sun, Dad felt a bit tired. He walked over to the sofa and lay down to rest. After finishing her snack, Lily saw her dad lying down, tired. She immediately ran to his side, climbed up onto his chest, pressed her cheek against his, and gave him sweet kisses, as if trying to comfort him.
Thương ba hả? Thương nha. Nha.
Seeing he still seemed tired, Lily suddenly had an idea. She quickly ran back to the fridge, opened the door, grabbed a bottle of cold water, and brought it to him. Dad was very surprised and touched by his little daughter's thoughtful gesture. He sat up, took the water bottle, and smiled, thanking Lily.
Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Để ba tự mở cho nhé. Con mở hộp luôn hả? À, tôi để ba tự mở cho nhé. Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Ngồi đây, ngồi đây. Ngồi xuống đi, ngồi đấy.
After taking a drink and feeling better, Dad wrapped his arms tightly around Lily.
Đi giải nha. Con lấy nước ở đâu đấy? Lấy nước ở đâu đấy? Không phải đâu. Ăn nghỉ tí nhé. Đi.
gently settled her on his chest, and the two of them drifted off into a peaceful, warm afternoon nap together. One quiet afternoon, in their familiar home, Lily was sitting neatly in her favorite yellow beanbag chair. She leaned against her dad as they watched films of their own past adventures on TV. Lily watched the screen intently, occasionally looking up at her dad with eyes full of trust and love. Suddenly, her dad stood up, patting Lily's head and saying, "Be a good girl, Lily. I'm just going to do your laundry." As soon as her dad was out of sight, the mischievous little girl sprang up. An idea sparked in her mind. She toddled over to the small yellow refrigerator, stood on her tiptoes to open the door, and pulled out a bright red apple, almost as big as herself. She happily hugged her prize, returned to her beanbag chair, and began to enjoy her snack. After finishing the apple, Lily went to the table and got a yogurt. She fumbled to open the lid and then ate it clumsily with a spoon, spilling yogurt all over the table and her pretty t-shirt.
Lily, con làm gì vậy? Nó buồn à?
When her dad returned and saw his little girl's battlefield, he didn't scold her at all. He just gently pointed at the mess, and Lily seemed to understand, looking apologetic.
Chờ tí bà lên bà làm cho ăn chứ, hả? Nè, nè, áo này, bà mới giặt xong đấy nhỉ, thấy không? Thấy không? Thấy chưa? Bà hết rồi đấy kìa, táo bà ăn được vứt kìa. Ăn cái gì hả? Ăn phải cẩn thận chứ, sạch sẽ chứ, thấy chưa? Thật là thường nhé, không được như vậy nghe chưa? Này này, thôi đừng ăn cái đó nữa, đừng có xúc tràn, đây đây, xích cái đây, đây, đó, ăn đi rồi bà thay đồ rồi giặt quần áo chưa? Giặt đi cho Ly luôn nhá. sau kêu ba nhé. Rồi con quay lấy giấy đi. Đi quay lấy giấy đi. Kìa. Đúng rồi, qua đây nào. Đúng rồi.
Her dad gave her a paper towel and patiently showed her how to clean the table. Lily obediently followed his lead, wiping up the yogurt spills and then carrying the dirty paper to the trash can to throw it away.
Nốt nha. Kìa quá. Thấy chưa? Kìa quá. Rửa hết cái áo rồi kìa. Rồi, hết rồi. Rồi, lấy thêm giấy đi, lấy thêm giấy ba lon miệng nhá. Thêm giấy đi. Rồi, lấy ba lon miệng nhá.
Seeing that his daughter knew how to admit her mistake and fix it, her dad lovingly wiped her hands and mouth, then lifted her up to change her dirty shirt.
Rồi, thôi, không ăn nữa, không ăn nữa nhá. Biết là lý thích rồi nha. Này, đây cái bỏ thùng rác đi, thùng rác đi. Rồi, qua đây. Đây, đi cởi áo này. Cởi áo này. Ôi giời, cởi ra, cởi ra. Đây đi ba. Rồi. Để đây mà giặt luôn nhé. Này, đi rồi, bỏ cái táo thùng rác không? Thùng rác đi. Bỏ thùng rác đi con. Không ăn nữa, bỏ thùng rác đi. Đúng rồi. Ồ, giỏi lắm. Thôi đi đây nè, đi đây ba nè.
The gentle dawn cast a tranquil glow upon the river, dyeing the water's surface a shimmering gold. In that fresh and serene space, a father and daughter began their day with familiar exercises.
Đây đâu, đây đi đâu? Đây đi này, đây này. Đây đâu, đúng rồi. Đây. Đúng rồi. Đây. Ly giỏi quá. À, ở đây nè. Ở đây nè. Ở đây. Bây giờ bay Ly đưa tập dục nhá. Chào không khí trong lành nhá. À, đưa hai tay lên trời nè.
The dad moved gently through each motion, and his little daughter, Lily, dressed in comfortable clothes, watched with intense concentration. She was like a mirror, her small heart beating in rhythm with her dad's every gesture.
Đúng rồi, giỏi quá. Đúng rồi.
When her dad stretched his arms, her own small hands reached for the blue sky, trying to touch the clouds. Lily's intelligence and quickness brought a smile to her dad's face. A warm smile filled with pride and boundless love. After exercising, the two of them walked to an old green motorcycle. The dad carefully placed a blue helmet on Lily's head.
Đúng rồi. Đi ngồi sau trước. Ngồi sau đây.
And she quickly wrapped her arms tightly around his back, seeking safety and warmth for the ride home.
Nào, cẩn thận nha. Rồi, đi thôi, đi về nhá. Cẩn thận nhá. Rồi, đi thôi đi. Cất mũ đi nhá, cất đồ nhá. À, cất mũ đây nè. Này, đi bỏ mũ này. Đây, bỏ mũ xuống. Ui giời ơi. Đó, bỏ lên đây cho con Ly nhá. Đó. Thôi đi ra đây ngồi đi, đứng lên con. Ra đây ngồi nè, đây nè. Ngồi cho mát nhá. Ngồi đây. Sáng ngày sớm thì có vui không? Sáng sớm lại đói không nào? Đi kiểm tra nhá.
Upon arriving home, their hungry stomachs began to rumble. Lily scampered to the yellow refrigerator, her eyes bright with the hope of finding something delicious. But when the door opened, the joy on her face suddenly vanished. Inside, only a small slice of an apple lay lonely on a shelf. Seeing the fleeting sadness in his daughter's eyes, her dad's heart sank a little.
Còn tiền không? Hết rồi đúng không? Cho tiền nhé.
He took the apple slice, gently put it in his daughter's small
Đây nhá.
crossbody bag, gave her some
Đây,
money,
đói cái
and
đấy
told
ăn
her
nhá.
to go buy
Đấy
more
nhá.
food.
Được chưa? Nhá, nhá. Lấy mũ đi. Lấy mũ rồi mới khỏi nắng. Đội vào, đội mũ vào. Đội mũ vô. Ra đây cho ba chỉ ra. Đây. À, đúng rồi, ba xem nào. Được không? Được không? Đi về sớm nhá, thấy chưa? Không nắng thấy chưa? Rồi con đi đi, đi đi. Đi về sớm đi nhá. Bye bye.
On her way to the grocery store, Lily stopped by the side of the road, finding a cool spot under the shade of a tree. And took out the small apple slice her dad had given her. She ate it with appreciation, savoring every bit of the single slice's sweet, crisp taste. After finishing, she continued on her way. After walking a short distance, Lily felt that something was missing. She reached for her head and realized with a jolt that she had forgotten her favorite straw hat, where she had just been resting. Worried, she turned back. Luckily, her hat was still there, lying peacefully on the grass. Arriving at the grocery store, Lily was greeted by a colorful world of endless choices. She stood hesitating between the plump, juicy red apples and the fragrant packages of instant noodles. She craved the apples, but then the image of her hungry dad at home flashed in her mind. Between her own desire and her love for her dad, Lily didn't hesitate to choose the noodle packages. She said goodbye to the shopkeeper and happily returned home. When she got home, Lily proudly handed the packages of noodles to her dad.
Bác cho tiền đi mua đi ăn trái cây mà. Cho tiền đi ăn trái cây mà. Mua này gì? Mua này là gì? Bây giờ đi để ăn nhá. Tao cứ đeo đi kia kìa. Ha. Nè, đây là. Đây. Mua ra nhá. Để túi cho bạn. Túi đây. Rồi, em còn tiền không? À, hết tiền rồi này. À, không gì hết tiền rồi đúng không? Cái gì nhá. Còn cái này cho nhá. À, lên trên đi. Ngồi đi. Đây, ngồi đây.
After proudly giving the noodles to her dad, Lily sat obediently in her favorite chair, waiting.
Ngon không? Chắc là đói bụng đúng không? Đói bụng vẫn mua mì đúng không? Mua mì cho đi nhá. Đó, thấy chưa? Thơm không? Thơm nhỉ? Trời ơi. Cho thử nhá. À, này đây mình đặt lại sau nhá. Bây giờ đi ra kia ngồi chờ ba nhé. Ba chén nước nóng. Xong rồi ăn ra uống ăn nhé. À. Con xuống đi con, xuống đi. Xuống ra bàn đi. Anh chờ con, nước nóng lắm. Không chơi được.
From the kitchen came the familiar clinking sounds, and soon a rich, warm aroma of noodles began to fill the house. The scent made Lily's hungry stomach growl even more, but she waited patiently. Her eyes never left the kitchen, eagerly anticipating the results of her important trip. Before long, her dad brought out a steaming bowl of hot noodles.
Đây. Rồi, đưa lại đây nhá. Đi đây này. À, chết rồi. Ly. Con lấy đĩa đi, con lấy đĩa của mình đi. Đúng rồi, ngay đây. Đúng rồi. Đây nha, để bà lấy cho Ly một miếng nha.
Wow. The two of them sat together, slurping and enjoying their breakfast. The sound of slurping noodles mixed with the happy glances they shared.
Đi ngoan nào. Đây. Đây, rửa Ly nhé.
The dad picked out the best piece of cucumber from his bowl for Lily, and she looked up at him blissfully, her eyes sparkling with happiness.
Rồi, đấy, con ăn đi. Đúng rồi. Đấy. Cái tay bỏ tay này xuống, đúng rồi. Sát được tí nữa, Đây. Rồi, bỏ tay đi, đúng rồi. Rồi, ăn đi con. Đây. Đây. Đấy, con ăn đi, đúng rồi, con ăn đi. Ăn đi. Đúng rồi đấy. Cầm xéo này tí nha, cầm xéo này xíu này. Xéo này xíu, đúng rồi đấy. Này ha, đặt nha. Bỏ xuống tí nha. Cầm vào. Đúng rồi.
The meal was simple, but it was perhaps the most delicious meal ever, seasoned with the love and sincere care they had for each other.
Dưa ngon hơn hả Ly? Đúng rồi đấy. Dưa ngon hơn, đúng rồi đấy Ly nhá. Này, dưa này, ta cho thêm dưa này nha. Cắm lên nào.
After the heartwarming breakfast of noodles filled with love, a sweet sleepiness set in. The dad and Lily took a short, peaceful nap together in their small home.
Bắt tay nào. Đi. Đi khai cái này nha. Đi khai cái mặt nhé.
When they woke up, the dad took Lily to the bathroom to get ready for their afternoon adventure.
Mở nó đi. Mở lại, đúng rồi. Này, đi khai đi.
The little girl showed great independence, holding her own toothbrush to brush her teeth, then skillfully splashing water on her face. She even nimbly helped her dad turn the faucet on and off. Small actions filled with intelligence and a cooperative spirit. Once they were refreshed and clean, the dad took Lily outside to explore the world around them. Their first stop was the cowshed. Standing before such a large creature, Lily was a bit timid at first, hiding behind her dad's leg. But soon, her innate curiosity won over. She began to peek out, her big round eyes unblinking, captivated by the cow's every move, from the way it chewed its grass to the way its tail swished to chase away flies. A little while later, her dad took her hand and they continued their walk. This time, they visited her grandparents' house. As soon as they entered the yard, Lily ran straight to the chicken coop, where her grandparents' flock was leisurely strolling around, scratching the dirt for worms.
Đây đi. Đi đây. Gà đi. Gà đấy. Đi theo đi. Đi theo đi. Như này. Đi lấy đồ gà nhé. Nhé. Đi đi. Thấy không? Thấy gà đó.
After observing for a while, Lily ran into the house and then struggled to carry out a bowl of chicken feed.
nha.
Father and daughter then scattered the golden corn kernels for the flock. Watching the chickens scramble to peck at the grains, Lily giggled, her face lit up with delight.
Đó. Cầm cao lên con, cầm cao lên. Cầm cao lên nhá. Cầm cao lên. Thật à? Đứng nào. Thấy không? Ui gà đã gì? Gì? Nó mới xin quả trứng nha. Đúng chưa? Lên xin quả trứng nha. Xin quả trứng nha. Anh ăn nhiều nha. Kìa, kìa, thấy chưa Ly? Đây. Được không? Thích nha. Cái nào lớn nha. Đi vào nha. Đi vào ha. Nào đi. Gà đi. Gà đi. Gà đi.
When the chickens were full, the dad led Lily to where they lay their eggs. Seeing the round, warm eggs nestled in the straw, Lily cried out with joy.
Gà này thấy không? Nè. Nè. Đi. Cầm xe đi, cầm xe đi. Cầm đấy. Đúng rồi.
She quickly found a basket.
Đây đây, đây. Đây đây. Đây đây đây. Bỏ lấy mấy cái. Đây đi, bỏ đây. Lấy mấy cái bỏ đây đi. Bỏ đây này.
And swiftly collected all the eggs into it.
Kia nữa. Nhanh lên cho nó bắt đấy. Lấy đi. Bắt đây, bỏ đây. Đúng rồi, 3 cái đây nhá. Lấy cái nữa không? Đây hả? Đây hả? À. Thôi để một cái lại nhá. Hay là lấy hết? Lấy hết hả? Thôi thế rồi, thế rồi.
Seeing the full basket, her dad gently explained that they should only take enough to eat, leaving the rest for the mother hen to hatch into little chicks. Understanding her dad, Lily obediently returned a few eggs to the nest. On the way home, Lily proudly helped her dad carry the basket of eggs. But before they had even left the gate, she accidentally dropped the eggs on the ground. Both of them gasped in alarm, but luckily, the thick layer of dirt cushioned the fall, and the eggs remained intact.
Đi nè. Đi. Đi đây trước nha. Đây đi. Tiếp.